Yeah,
for sure.
I think that is super important. I think it's all about being able to take what you've learned and take the experiences that you've had and telling a story about how that can help you in the future, right? So just because you don't have everything, not just because that your job doesn't line up with your major, whatever you majored in, if you can take those experiences and explain how that's going to make you, valuable in this new opportunity, that's all you need to do. So being able to look at experiences and skills you have and figure out how can I explain this to people? What story can I tell? I think that's a really big skill.
Yeah, definitely. Cool. So going back to college, is there anything back in your days in college that you kind of regret you didn't do or take advantage of?
That's a really good question. I mean, I was one of those people that I was a student athlete. I played tennis on the tennis team there for 4 years. So okay. I was doing that and going to school. And I was one of those people that was very afraid to overcommit my time. I didn't want to be one of those people that was just swamped with different things. But what I ended up doing was really not getting involved in enough things. So I had tennis in school, and I was involved with this one business group called Enactus. And besides that, I wasn't really involved in too many other things. So I look back on it and think, man, I probably could have taken more advantage of things that were offered. And I don't think I did a really good job of doing that. So if I could go back, I think I'd probably be more involved with whatever I saw was out there. So just being more active, I think, would have been better.
Yeah. And it kind of sounds like you've definitely adapted from that, though, and learned from it, because just from looking at your LinkedIn and from what I've heard so far, it sounds like you've gotten a lot more active with trying to be more involved and just in life in general, just being out there more.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely trying to take advantage of everything I can, and whatever opportunities come my way, just trying to see, hey, how can I benefit from this?
Yeah. And then what's something from college that you're really glad you did, something that you're just really happy you were a part of?
Yeah, so definitely playing sports, being a student athlete was something I was always wanting to do. That's a dream of mine, to get a scholarship and go play at a school and excel at a pretty high level of athletics. That was extremely satisfying for myself. And then my involvement with the Enactus group was probably the second most important thing I did in college. I think that opened up so many doors for me to have more experiences that I never would have gotten. So I got to really fine-tune my public speaking skills. It got me in uncomfortable situations that now I'm more comfortable in terms of talking in front of strangers, going up to strangers, and being able to communicate with people effectively, and being able to talk with what ended up happening, being able to talk with people that are leaders in different companies that I never would have had access to if I didn't join this group. And I leveraged a lot of those experiences, a lot of those stories to help land my first job and my second job. So those were definitely paid off for me post-graduation.
It's really cool. Cool. So what would be one really important factor that you kind of look towards when applying for jobs?
Yeah, that's another really good question. So when I'm applying for jobs, or when I have in the past, I really wanted to know what's the upward mobility, right? What's my future going to look like? Mm-hmm. And I think if you boil that down, the question is really, what am I going to learn by taking this job? What am I going to be able to take away and use going forward? So I think that can be, really important for people, especially when they trying to find that first job is, okay, I'm going to take this job, but what is this job going to teach me? And is this job going to make me better in the areas that I want to get better in for my future career? Because people that are the most successful, I feel like, have the ability to have one job and then use that job to propel them forward instead of just making lateral movements for a number of years. So being able to identify what you want to learn and then what this job is going to help you learn, I think are really, really important when you're trying to figure out where to go. Definitely.
I completely agree with that. Cool. this is more of a fun question. If you could have any job in the world, if you want to be a WWE wrestler or you want to be the president, what would it be and why?
Definitely don't want to be the president. That job sounds horrible.
Definitely.
I've thought about this a lot. And, growing up as a kid, a huge tennis player, wanted to be a professional tennis player. That would have been awesome. But I think now, if I could pick anything, I would still stay in sports, but I think I'd be a professional golfer. Because professional golfers, at least the top guys, they make a ton of money and they just travel to like wicked nice resorts and play on incredible golf courses, and their family gets to come with them, and that just looks like a ton of fun. So, it doesn't take a lot of stress on your body. It's not like a football player where your career is only 10 years or less. And, you can golf for forever. So let's do that. That sounds like a blast.
That's true. It's the only thing I could see going wrong with that is I feel like you have to be very open to doing the same thing over and over again, because I feel like if you were to be a professional golf player, you'd have to like practice your stroke like 8 hours a day, every day. It's kind of like your typical job. And I feel like that would get a little old.
Yeah, I feel like you have to be a perfectionist because you really have to like love just getting everything dialed in exactly right. That's definitely a skill you're going to have to be okay with.
Other than that, though, it does sound like it'd be a really nice gig to have.
Yeah, I think
Me personally, like I think I like the idea where it's not like really strenuous in your body and you get to go to nice resorts. I'm thinking more along the lines of maybe like an NFL punter, because they usually don't get tackled, and all they got to do is, and it's probably the same thing with golf where you have to do a lot of practicing kicking, but
yeah, and like with a punter, right? If a punter ever gets tackled or hit, it's like a big deal, and everyone's like really concerned about you, and you get to. The punter's always like, he gets to be pretty dramatic, and everyone hopes he's okay. So that's not bad. I like that one too.
Cool. So do you have any future plans? Like, do you have like 5 years from now, what do you see yourself doing?
Yeah, great question. So, I mean, if I look out 5 years, I think I see myself getting back into some sort of managerial role, having some sort of leadership role at some point in the future, whether it's in 5 years or not. I don't know, but I think that could be something I see myself doing, and hopefully being able to help others kind of accelerate their careers and realize their potential. I think that sounds like a lot of fun.
Definitely. Cool. Well, that just about wraps up the interview segment of the show. We're going to go on over to the game segment. So, so basically how it works is we have 2 games. Each one, there's a ranking of a scale of 1 to 100, so a total of 200 points. And then that placement puts you on the official Straight Out of College ranking list of champions. It's pretty official.
That is very prestigious, I hear.
Oh, for sure. So, for the first game, it's called BS, which stands for Bad But Smart. Basically, it's as if you go to an interview that you didn't prepare for at all, and I just ask you a bunch of questions that you're probably not going to know the answer to.
Okay.
All right, and then you just have to answer them to the best of your ability.
Okay.
All right, so let's get started. All right, so first off, let's see. Let's start off with a good one.
All right, what is
the difference between a displacement map and a normal map?
Yeah, that's a good question. I get that asked a lot, and it's pretty. The good thing to know is they're not that different. So what you really need to focus on is really whatever you're trying to do. You just got to make sure you have the right map. So for most people, what they're trying to do, whenever they're trying to use a map, if they have either or, if they're still going to get to where they need to go. But the displacement map, I think, is going to be a little bit more detailed on getting you where you want to go. That would be my answer.
That was actually very impressive.
I'm not going to lie what either of those things are, so I hope that made some sense.
Yeah. So I think you're thinking more of like a road map. Yep. But so a displacement map is if you're making a 3D model and you wanted the outside of it, like basically the surface of it to stick out, you'd use a displacement map. So, for example, if there's like little rigid areas on it that you didn't want to model out, you just use a displacement map instead. Whereas a normal map, it has the appearance that it's sticking out, but it's still flat. So
okay.
It was actually kind of, it was semi-close. It was pretty good.
Good.
All right, next question. All right. If you had to sell an action figure, a Bob Ross action figure, to a kid who has no idea who Bob Ross is, how would you sell it?
Oh, man. I think I would ask that kid to just think about what you want the most in life, picture that in your mind, and picture somebody who could create it for you. Like this, think of what you want, and think of someone who can just create the most amazing thing ever. And then I want you to look at this action figure and envision that this guy can do that, because this guy is going to be able to make all of your wildest dreams come true, and really just put everything you want into one image and make you feel amazing. I think, and then hopefully every time you look at him, you can feel amazing. So you would definitely need to ask your parents to get this for you, because every time you look at him, you're going to feel amazing.
Wow. That was incredible. Awesome. All right, A+ for that question.
Awesome.
Cool. So what Adobe software are you familiar with, and how would you personally use them to create, let's say you had to make this action figure from scratch?
Yeah, okay. Adobe software to create an action figure from scratch. Well, I think, let's see. I'd probably just go and download the Adobe, what's it called? The Adobe action figure software, where I think you can just download that off Google, right? And you put in the dimension of your action figure. It's kind of like creating an action figure or creating a character in a video game. I'm pretty sure this is how it would work, where you just download off of Google and you say, hey, I want to have red hair, 7 feet tall, and wear shorts, jean shorts, and have a skateboard, and it would print it out for you, or it would send you an image. I'm pretty sure that's a real thing.
Woof. All right, next question. All right. What is your experience with dentistry?
My experience with dentistry. I try to have as little experience with dentists as I can. And
okay, I like your honesty.
Yep, I don't like them at all. It's my least favorite people to go see. I've been very lucky. I don't have any cavities. I've never had a cavity, so I don't have to go see them a lot. But my experience is going and having them poke my mouth, make me bleed, and then tell me it's my fault. So they're not really my favorite people.
Okay. And then, so, beautiful. Well said. Well put. What is the best unbiased estimator for a series of random variables?
Probably Google, right? I think they've got some sort of algorithm to figure that stuff out. So That's fair. Just put it in Google. Just Google it. That's all I got for you.
Just when in doubt, Google it out.
Yep, that's it. That's how I've gotten by.
Yeah. All right. In your best definition, what is it to extract a face from a surface?
What does it mean to extract a face from a surface?
Yes.
I think that's probably some sort of torture that the Chinese government uses to interrogate prisoners of war. I think that is my best definition. That sounds horrible.
Yeah, okay. Okay. These are some quality. I mean, that one is obviously incorrect, but that was a great answer. I'm loving this. Cool. All right, and then the last question is always my favorite. We have to kind of draw the picture out for the audience because we don't actually have any images. So, okay, so you have a birthday cake, strawberry flavored,
Okay.
and you have exactly 3 slices to cut it into 8 equal pieces. How would you do that?
Oh, God. Okay. So it's a strawberry cake,
Yeah.
a strawberry birthday cake. And I have 3. Okay, now I'm 1, 2.
You can draw it out if you want.
I'm trying to I'm using my hands. I don't know why I'm doing that, but I think I'm gonna draw that out. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Dang it. Okay. 8. You want me to do it in 8 pieces?
Mm-hmm.
Are you sure you want
can
me to do
slice
it
it
in
out.
6?
You can slice it however you want, but yeah, 8 pieces. You have to
And
think
I have-
outside the box. Or circle.
Man. One, two, three, four, five, six. I'm coming up with 6 every time. This is very frustrating. I thought for sure. I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna get this one. This is the one I'm gonna get. This is gonna catapult me to get 100%."
There's only one person so far that almost got it perfectly, and it was the last person I was expecting to get it perfectly.
So
I hope
you
they're not listening to that. I shouldn't have said that. I didn't say that.
No. So what are the rules?
I'm gonna cut that.
Knife. I have 3 cuts with a knife, or I have to divide it into 3 ways.
So you can slice it however you want, but it has to be 3 slices. So if you want to like throw a curve in there, you can do that.
Okay. The only way I can figure out that this would even be possible is it would have to be some sort of diagonal cut across and then another diagonal cut across. So now we've got 4, and then
That's correct.
like a circle in the middle.
You were very close. You did exactly what the other person did. So
Okay.
Well, could you redefine how you would draw that circle? Right in the middle, you said?
I would draw a circle around. So I've got a rectangular cake, and then I've
That's
drawn
right.
a cut from corner to corner on both sides. So there's an X going through the cake, and then a circle around the X. Like around the center where the 2 lines intersect, I would draw a circle around that.
So like right in the center, like between the edge of the cake and the center. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, you did exactly what the last person did. Very close. The only thing different is you'd want that circle to be a little more closer towards the edge, because those pieces that are more in the center are going to be not the same size as the outer pieces, because it kind of expands outwards. So you need those inner pieces to be just a little bigger.
Okay. All right.
But
well,
yeah.
I'm proud of myself to get in there. You should see the doodles I have in front of me. They're very. If you saw them, you'd be very disappointed.
No, yeah, this is it's out there. This is a difficult question. Cool. I'm definitely gonna give you a 90 out of 100. That was really good.
Oh, that's awesome. That's way better than I thought I was gonna get. I'm gonna put that on my resume now.
For sure.
Good.
All right, cool. So then the last game is called Interview Opposite Day. So you're in an interview again, except with this one, I'm going to ask you very cliche interview questions, but you have to answer them the exact opposite of how you normally would answer them.
Okay. So I have to answer the exact opposite of how I would answer them. Okay. All right.
Yeah. All right. So you ready for the interview?
Yeah.
Good to hear. Okay. So why are you applying for this position?
Well, I'm applying for this position because my mom told me I should.
I think I've heard that one before. All right. Can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
No.
No?
Very private.
All right. It's going to be a quick interview. What are some strengths that you have?
I'm very good at keeping conversations really short, and I'm really good at keeping people away from me.
Okay. So, on the introverted side, what are your weaknesses?
I don't think I really have any weaknesses. I think I'm pretty proficient in just about everything.
All right. So, it says here on your resume that you were fired from your previous job. Could you elaborate on that?
That was not my fault. It was
Okay.
definitely completely out of my control. My boss really sucked, and it's all his fault. That's all I can say about that.
Okay. And now it also says that there has been a gap between that job and the one you're applying for right now, about a 10-year gap. Could you explain what you've been doing in the past 10 years to kind of recoup?
Yeah, really just trying to get my mind right and make sure I don't make any stupid decisions. I've been trying to play it really safe.
Yeah, and how's that been going for you so far?
Pretty good. I'm living at home. I don't have any friends, and I don't do a lot, so it's been going great. It's been going really great.
Okay. Can you please talk about a time you exercised leadership?
When I got fired from my last job 10 years ago, I told my boss where he should go, and I told everyone else in the company that they should follow me. So I think I did a pretty good job of being a leader in that point.
Did anyone follow you?
I don't know. I don't think so.
All right. What are some qualities that college has taught you?
It taught me how to skip class pretty easly. It taught me how to not get in trouble for doing that. It also taught me, man. I think that's it. I think that's
Sums it up?
That's it. Yeah, that's all.
Okay. What do you do outside of work?
I don't know. I don't know. Let's see. I would probably nothing. I don't think I do anything. That's a tough question. That's a really tough question.
Take a nap?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds nice. That sounds really good.
All right, and how would you deal with pressure or stressful situations?
Oh, I do that really well. I would just, I found if you're in a stressful situation, you can just blame it on someone else and make someone else kind of take responsibility for it and see if they can handle whatever situation it is, and then there's no more stress on you. So that's a pretty good strategy.
All right. What do you think we can do to be better and stick out from our competition?
I think you guys are doing a pretty good job. I don't know. I don't really know what you guys could keep. I think if you keep doing what you're doing, and then you'll be okay. Maybe you could use that Adobe software that you were talking about earlier. I think if we use that more, you guys would do better.
Yeah, for sure. Do you have any other questions for us?
No, except how did it go? Was that good? Am I a good fit? Can we get the job?
We'll contact you.
Oh, okay, nice, good. All right,
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
Cool. All right, and that wraps that up.
Woo, that was rough, man. I can't wait to listen to that back. I'm gonna cringe.
Yeah. See, what I'm low-key doing is I'm going to use all these for blackmail, so that way whenever people... No. No.
At the end, I'm like, oh, man, you get some ammo now, man. This is a good strategy.
Right, for sure.
You get some more high-profile people on here, you could make some moves.
All right, awesome. That just about wraps everything up. Thank you so much for your time. Do you have anything that you'd like to say, any final statements, or if you'd like to promote yourself, any social media? Anything.
Oh, man. Sure. This was super fun. I really appreciate you, wanting to have a chat. I think it's super important for people who are in college that are looking to leave to just look for as many resources as they can. I'm a big component of using LinkedIn to really propel yourself going forward, so I'm pretty active on there. I love to connect with people on LinkedIn. I think it's just I'm just on LinkedIn as Nate Davis in Cleveland, Akron, I believe is where my location is at. So you can look me up there. I love to connect with people that are trying to maybe get a different job, whether it's their second or third job, trying to land a job out of college and trying to figure out where they should go. And I love having those conversations, helping people nail that first interview, do a way better job than I did with you at that last bit there. And, yeah, so this was a lot of fun. I really appreciate it.
Cool, awesome. Also, I definitely forgot to give you your scoring on that last one. I think that was about an 80, so you got a final score of about, what is that? 80 plus 90 is 170. Yeah, cool. So, yeah. All right, man. Thank you so much for your time.
You got it. Appreciate it.
Hey audience, if you have any questions, recommendations for guests, or you'd like to be a guest, feel free to contact us at our email soutofcollege@gmail.com, which is listed in the description. Also, if you'd like to support the podcast, please go check out our Patreon account in the description as well. All the proceeds will go towards the podcast, which pays for better equipment and other fees for creating a higher quality and more accessible podcast. Alright, thank you for watching. Until next week, I'll see you around.